In today's video, I'm making a lacy ripple chunky scarf. To make this scarf, I used 2 skeins of Scarfie yarn by Lion brand. That's about 600 yards of yarn in total. I work with the hook size K, 6.5 millimeters. The final measurements of my scarf are about 75 inches long and 15.5 inches wide. There are 4 repeating rows in the pattern, and I would say that the overall skill level is advanced beginner. The starting chain must be a multiple of 14 plus 4, and I start with 46 chains. 1, 2, 3. Here I have 46 chains, and I'm ready to start my first row. Into the 4th chain from the hook, I make a double crochet. We never count the chain on the hook, we always start counting from the next one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and over here I make a double crochet. And these 3 skipped chains also count as a double crochet. Now I'm going to make a double crochet into each one of the next 5 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So over here in the beginning of the row, so far I have 7 double crochets. Next I'm going to make 2 double crochet decrease, and here's how I'm going to make it. Into the next chain I insert the hook, draw up a loop, and I make a double crochet, but I don't finish it. Then I skip the next chain, and into the next one again yarn over, and I insert the hook, draw up a loop, I make a double crochet, and now I'm going to finish these 2 double crochets together. So this is my 2 double crochet decrease, but in between I have 1 skipped chain. Next I work a double crochet into each one of the next 5 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So over here I have a dip, and over here I will make a pick. So into the next chain I work a double crochet, then 1 chain, and into that same chain I work another double crochet. And now the pattern begins to repeat from here. Into each one of the next 5 chains I make a double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now again I will make a decrease. Into the next chain I insert the hook, make a double crochet, but I don't finish it. I skip the next chain, and into the next one again I make a double crochet, and now I finish them together. 2 double crochets finished together. And now a double crochet into each one of the next 5 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And into the next chain I make a double crochet, 1 chain, and 1 more double crochet. And this is how the first row goes. And here is how I finished this row. So over here I made 2 double crochet decrease, then after that 5 double crochets, and I have 1 chain left, and into this last chain I work 2 double crochets. 1, 2. And that's that's my first row. I turn my work and I start the next row with 3 chains, and these 3 chains count as my first double crochet. And into the very first double crochet I work 1 more double crochet, and in this pattern, throughout this pattern, I will work only under the 2 loops on the top. So I'm inserting the hook over here under the 2 loops. So I make a double crochet into the very first double crochet. So now it counts as I have 2 double crochets in the first stitch. And now into each one of the next 5 double crochets I will work a double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now over here I have 1 more double crochet, then 2 double crochet decrease, and then a double crochet. So what I'm going to do is to make a 2 double crochet decrease over these 2 double crochets. So I insert the hook into the first double crochet, I make 1 double crochet but I don't finish it, then I skip the next stitch, which is 2 double crochet decrease, and into the next one again I make a double crochet, and now I finish these 2 double crochets together. So again I have a 2 double crochet decrease. Next I make a double crochet into each one of the next 5 double crochets. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, and here I am at the peak. This was a dip, this is a peak, and over here I make a double crochet, 1 chain and double crochet. So I work them into the chain 1 space. Now again into each one of the next 5 double crochets I work a double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now I make a decrease. So a double crochet into the next one, but I don't finish it, I skip the next stitch, and a double crochet into the next one again, and now I finish them together. And the pattern repeats again. Here I am at the end of this row after I made the last 2 double crochet decrease. After that I made 5 double crochets, and now I have 1 double crochet left. Well, in reality it's a turn and chain, but we treat it as a double crochet. So I finished this row with 2 double crochets into the top of that turn and chain. So 1 and 2. And so far I have 2 rows finished. I turn my work and I start row 3 with 4 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 of these chains will count as my first double crochet, and 1 chain will count as chain 1 space. Now into the very first double crochet I make a 2 double crochet cluster. So yarn over, I insert the hook, draw up a loop, and I make a double crochet, but I don't finish it. And then into the same stitch I insert the hook again and I make a double crochet, and now I finish them together. So this is a 2 double crochet cluster. Next 2 chains, 1, 2, and I skip the next 2 double crochets, and into the next one I work a 2 double crochet cluster again. So 1 double crochet, but I don't finish it, and 1 more. Now I finish them together. Again 2 chains, I skip 2 double crochets, and now I will make a decrease made from these 2 double crochet clusters. So here is how I do it. Into the next stitch, remember I skipped 2 double crochets, and into the next one I make a double crochet, but I don't finish it, and into the same stitch again I make a double crochet, but I don't finish these 2 double crochets. What I do next is I skip the next 2 double crochet decrease, and into the next double crochet. Again, I make a 2 double crochet cluster, so 1 double crochet, but I don't finish it, and then 1 more double crochet. Now I have 5 loops on the hook, and now I finish them all together. So over here I made a decrease, but not double crochet decrease, but cluster decrease. Next, 2 chains. I skip the next 2 double crochets, 1, 2, and into the next one I make a 2 double crochet cluster. So 1, 2, and I finish them together. Again, 2 chains, skip 2 double crochets, and over here I'm at the peak. Again, this is my chain 1 space, and into this space I work a cluster, so 2 double crochets, finish together, then 4 chains, 1, 2, 3, 4, and into the same chain 1 space I make a cluster again. And now the pattern begins to repeat. 2 chains, skip 2 double crochets, a cluster into the next double crochet, 2 chains, skip next 2 double crochets, and a cluster decrease. So 1 cluster, but I don't finish it, skip the next stitch, and into the next double crochet I make my 2nd cluster, and now I finish them all together. Two chains, skip 2 double crochets, into the next double crochet I make a cluster, 2 chains, skip next 2 double crochets, and into the next chain 1 space I make a cluster, 4 chains, and into the same chain 1 space 1 more cluster. And this is how this row goes. At the end of the row I made a cluster, 2 chains, I skip 2 double crochets, and I have 1 double crochet left, or chain 3. So in top of that chain 3 I make a cluster, then 1 chain, and into that same chain or last double crochet I make a double crochet. And the 3rd row is finished. I turn my work and I start row number 4 with 1 chain. Now into the very first double crochet I make a single crochet. Next I have chain 1 space, and into this chain 1 space I work 2 single crochets, 1, 2. I skip the next cluster, and into the next chain 2 space I work 2 double crochets, 1, 2. Again, I skip the next cluster, and into the next chain 2 space I work 2 double crochets, 1, 2. Next I have a cluster decrease, and on top of this cluster decrease I will work 1 single crochet. So I insert the hook over here and I make a single crochet. Next I have 2 chains, or 2 chain space, and into this space I work 2 single crochets, 1, 2. I skip the next cluster, and into the next chain 2 space I work 2 single crochets, 1, 2. I skip the next cluster, and into the next chain 4 space I work 5 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the pattern begins to repeat. Into the next chain 2 space I work 2 single crochets, 1, 2. Skip the next cluster, into the next chain 2 space 2 single crochets, 1, 2. Into the cluster decrease, in top of it I make 1 single crochet. Into the next chain 2 space 2 single crochets, 1, 2, skip next cluster, into the next chain 2 space, 2 single crochets, 1, 2, skip next cluster and into the next chain 4 space, I work 5 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's how this row goes. At the end of the row, over here I made 2 single crochets, I skipped the last cluster, and over here I have a double crochet and chain 1 space, because remember we made 4 chains here and 3 chains count as the first double crochet and 1 chain counts as the chain 1 space. So into this space I make 2 single crochets, 1, 2, and then I make 1 more single crochet into the third chain of that turning chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, I count from the bottom, and over here I make a single crochet. I turn my work and I start the next row with 3 chains that count as my first double crochet. Now into the very first single crochet I make a double crochet. So it counts that in the very first stitch I have 2 stitches. Next I make a double crochet into each one of the next 5 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I will make a 2 double crochet decrease. So into the next single crochet I make 1 double crochet, but I don't finish it. I skip the next single crochet, and into the following one again I make a double crochet, and now I finish these 2 double crochets together. So that's my decrease. Next I make a double crochet into each one of the next 5 single crochets. 2, 3, 4, 5. Over here into the next single crochet I work a double crochet, 1 chain and 1 more double crochet. So this is my pick, and over here was my dip. And now the pattern begins to repeat. I make a double crochet into each one of the next 5 single crochets. 2, 3, 4, 5. Then a decrease. So into the next stitch I make a double crochet, but I don't finish it. I skip the next stitch, and into the next one I make 1 more double crochet, but I don't finish it. And now I finish these 2 double crochets together. Then a double crochet into each one of the next 5 single crochets. 2, 3, 4, 5, and into the next single crochet I make a double crochet, 1 chain and 1 more double crochet. And this is how this row goes. At the end of the row I made 5 double crochets after the 2 double crochet decrease, and here I still have 1 single crochet left, and into this last single crochet I work 2 double crochets. 1, 2. So that was a complete repeat for the pattern. Now the pattern begins to repeat again from row number 2, right here. The next row is gonna be a row of double crochets again, then it's gonna be a row of these clusters, then a row of single crochets, and a row of double crochets again. And this is how this pattern is going to look like once you complete more rows.